This is In the Parks and Beyond, the podcast where we dive deep into the magical world of Disney, explore the thrills of Universal, and venture beyond the parks. Join us for insider tips, expert insights, and world-class recommendations on the best rides, shows, and hidden gems. We'll take you on culinary journeys with top food picks and share exciting adventures from destinations around the world. So, pull your lap bars down and head into the parks with us as we embark on this roller coaster we call life.
Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Parks and Beyond. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Josh, and I want to say a huge thank you for tuning into our last episode with our friend April. The reception was absolutely amazing. We're very grateful for the support. But in this episode, we're going to throw it to Jerry because last episode he told us all that he was going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and I want to hear all about it. So Jerry, take it away.
Yeah, actually, we definitely had a good time. It was, the way I put it, was a rain fest. It poured out for most of the night, unfortunately. However, we did get everything. So everything was a little delayed, but we got the parade, got the fireworks. Everything was going. There was no issues with things, cancellations or anything like that. So we got to see everything. It just was a little bit wet, which it is what it is. During the parade, they didn't have the Headless Horseman, which was a little disappointing because one of my favorite parts. I get it, safety, I understand, so which was a little bit of a bummer, but at least we got to see it, which is all that matters. And then definitely took full advantage of the trick or treating.
Yes, how much candy did you get?
So we got about 3 full bags just because it got so. It was pouring so yeah. So I would say probably from about 9:30 at night through the rest of the night, it just downpoured the whole time. So
wow. I'm glad they were able to do the parade and the fireworks then.
Yeah, so we caught the first parade at 8. It was raining a little bit around there, but it wasn't anything terrible. A little bit lightning in the area, so I got delayed a little bit. And then the fireworks finally went off at I think it was 10:30 at night. They were delayed for a half hour or so. But I think they finally were just well, you got to give it to them, so we're just going to light it. So, which I wasn't mad about. But I think it was my first time ever actually bought a poncho in the park. It was we actually bought it when we first got in because I knew rain was coming eventually. So I was
you sensed it.
I'm I don't feel like getting soaked tonight.
They're warranted.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's not like you have to buy it every time it breaks. You can bring it back and be like, "Hey, there's a hole in it." And
you see, I did not know that.
You didn't?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that huge.
I heard that even if you have the old yellow ones, if it rips, they'll give you.
I did not know that.
Universal does the same thing.
Wow! How did I not know that? That's really good to know. I did not know that.
I bought the one at Universal because my poncho was wet still.
Sure.
In the pouch I had, so I was I guess I'll just go buy it. So it's actually better quality than the one I bought at Walmart. So.
Yeah, I don't mind it, honestly. Sure, it's a little bit expensive for a plastic poncho, but it did.
But you get use out of it in Florida.
No, see, that's one thing I haven't learned yet is bring my rain gear to the parks because it's summertime in Florida; it always rains. So. I'll learn. Maybe next year.
I was in the same boat when I first moved. I was it's about to pour and I have nothing. No umbrella, no poncho. I was the amount of times that I vacationed before I moved here, I should know better. But 3:00 every day, monsoon time in the summer.
Yes.
So be prepared.
But yeah, no, we had an awesome time though. For what it was, we definitely had a great time. We went and met Mickey right as soon as the party started. Much more better. It wasn't bad, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm sure
it wasn't terrible.
Jack and Sally were
yeah, they were almost already at an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say
because they were before the party began, they were already rolling with them. So that. It already started, but we had a good experience. My son he didn't cry this time around. Looking at Mickey, gave him a hardcore stare down, but it was better than the crying from last time. But
who is this man? Who is this big mouse?
And then what else did we do? So it was kind of funny. So one of the foods that we tried, first thing I said to my wife, I'm like, Josh will be disappointed that I'm actually probably eating this here, but I'm like, gotta try it. So it was at Sleepy Hollows. It was the corn dog
Oh,
at Sleepy Hollow. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good.
yeah. You've had the one in Disneyland, right?
I have, yes.
Not the trolley one, the red trolley corn dog.
Red trolley, yes, which was
Similar?
phenomenal.
Similar, or is that one better?
Disneyland's still better. I still have to say Disneyland does take the cake on that. But it was, for what it was actually pretty spicy. It had some spice to it, so a nice kick to it, and but it was delicious. Actually,
Yeah, we gotta get you.
Get it again.
We gotta get you to the boardwalk to try the blue ribbon.
So the same weekend we went to Food and Wine for a bit, and I was gonna go over there to try it, but I was like, one, it was like extremely hot that day, and I was like, I've already eaten too much. I was like, I could eat it, but I was like, I may not make it back.
I think so. If you haven't seen my review on YouTube yet, I'll give you a little run. I'll give everybody a little rundown. I think they're phenomenal. They're a little pricey. I wouldn't even say a little pricey. They're pricey. They're, in my opinion, overpriced for a corn dog. It's California prices in Florida, but they taste good. Are they $15 worth? Probably not. But to me, it's a treat. I'm not going to go out and get a corn dog every time, so it's okay if I spend $15 on a corn dog.
No,
the Mexican street corn dog,
that's
my
what I want to try. Yeah, that's what I want.
It has like the perfect amount of spice to it.
But man, I could use that.
I mean, I saw a review. I'm gonna call. I'm not gonna like shit on him, but he said that the corn dogs at Casey's were better than for with the price were better than the ones at Blue Ribbon. I'm gonna say, as a person who is overly critical of Disney food, the corn dogs at Blue Ribbon are miles ahead of frozen corn dogs at Casey's Corn Dog.
Like, don't get me wrong, I like Casey's corn dogs, but like,
but they're not the same.
That's a stretch. I mean, sure, the price point, sure, but like, that's a stretch right there.
So, I mean, I don't tend to put pricing in my reviews with Disney because I know what I'm paying. Like, it's a Disney. I'm not expecting a deal on food.
No.
I put pricing when I review a restaurant. I'll put pricing, but Disney, you got to expect the inflated price.
You got it.
But yeah, I definitely recommend you go try it out.
Yeah, no, it's definitely on the list. I think next time I'm out that way, I'm definitely going to get it because I've heard, other than what you just told me, because I haven't seen that review, I feel like everyone really enjoys it. So like, sure, the price point's a little bit steep, but
I mean, I spent $60-something just to film the video, and I wouldn't like. Don't do what I did. Don't eat 4 hot dogs. No. I mean, but I'm just saying. I mean, you can. That's your good. If you want, you can. But $15 for. I mean, it's a good size corn dog.
Yeah. It looks like it is too.
I'd pay $9.99, maybe $10.50 for it. So I mean, being on Disney property, inflating $5 kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But besides
$15 at Disney World is $10 somewhere else.
Right. It's like, I know what I'm getting into. Like, I'm not going to complain. Like, I know what I signed up for.
Right.
But besides the corn dog, did you try anything else? Any other food?
What else did we do? I feel like I got something. What else did why am I drawing a blank here? Wow. Maybe I didn't because of the rain. It just wasn't like easy to eat things. It was just like, I mean, it was like monsoon out. It was like hardcore downpouring the whole night. Like, it was just like, we made it fun, of course, but like, it was just like to the point where you couldn't even just like sit outside and enjoy something. It was just like,
I heard a few parties just got rained out completely. So I'm glad that you were able to see the parade and the fireworks.
That Sunday party was like pretty much like a washout, and like I've heard like horror stories of like the guest service line at the end of the night. I heard it was like going down to the Contemporary.
I think the line got so bad that Disney was like, "You're automatically getting compensated. You're automatically going to get a ticket." to just come in the park for the like.
Which I get, like, which is cool, you know. Which is like, I'm glad they did something for them, and like I get people's like point of like, I want my money back. I know Disney can't control the weather, so they say. I'm just joking.
Yeah, they're just
But,
clouds. They caused the rain. There was the whole. It was a.
so they could sell the ponchos.
The cloud seeding program from Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, personally,
I get people's point though. You know, like they didn't light the fireworks. They canceled all the shows. They canceled. So like it was really just trick or treating. So it's like I get people's point. Like I should get something for this. You know.
I mean, I get giving a single day park hopper for people that are just there, but at the same time, you're going to have to add another day to your vacation if you want to use that, or you're going to have to plan another vacation in the future.
Or what about the pass holders?
Right, that's what I was going to say. Like for me, as a Florida resident and a pass holder, it doesn't work for me.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, I'm not. I would be okay if you gave it to me as a credit for another party or something, like to use on a Christmas party.
Yeah. Sure.
Like I don't need my.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like I don't, but so I mean, I get they're trying, but it wouldn't satisfy me. I would rather have access to another party date if it's not sold out, or
I agree.
Christmas party.
I mean, I'm sure they probably did things for people. I think that was probably just like for mass amounts to see if like it would appease a certain amount of people. Like, hey, you know, let's
I feel so bad for the cast members that were working that night.
Oh yeah,
I can only imagine how rude some of those people were.
Oh, I don't even want to imagine that. It's just like, you know, they can't control the weather. It's like, I understand. Allegedly. I'm still not convinced. I think they do. Come on, let's be real. But I don't know. I feel bad for the cast members sometimes. Yep. It's just like people just take their frustration. Like, I get people frustrated. Like it's okay. Like, but to be frustrated is something that's out of anybody's control.
Like I that's always a problem with customer service. Is they're always looking for somebody to blame.
You got it.
But you got it. I'm glad the party ended up being recovered for you.
No, it did. Yeah, no, we definitely had a good time, and you know, as I mentioned before, my wife is pregnant, so it was kind of nice that it was kind of raining because we just took a little bit more easier than we usually would, so which helped her in the long run.
just the people mover. Is that the only thing she could do?
No. So we did pirate. Did we do pirates? No, I don't think we did pirates. Ooh, what did we do? We did. Why am I drawing a blank on this? Do we?
Wow, well, I'm trying to think of the rest she could do. So you got pirates that she could do, Haunted Mansion.
Didn't do that.
People Mover.
No.
Did
a lot of trick or treating. We did.
Little Mermaid. She could probably do. Buzz Lightyear if you don't spin.
Oh, actually, I think it was Little Mermaid. Actually, was it Little Mermaid? I want to drawing a blank at what we did. I know we met Mickey at the beginning, and then I know we did something. We didn't do too many rides just because my son passed out at like 9 p.m. So like, I'm kind of shocked. He slept through the. Actually, I should say 8 p.m. because he slept through the parade. Didn't wake up once, which we were like 3 feet from it.
Not even from the Gravediggers. That would have woke me up.
Yeah, and huge shout out to the people who were standing next to us during that parade because when we were like late getting to because we stopped for we got some coconut ice cream for Dola and so we were a little bit late to get in there. So I'm like, oh, we're not gonna have a good spot. And a woman, she looked back at us and she was like, hey, she goes, do you want me to move my carriage so you guys can stand right here? And I was like,
if you insist.
She goes, yeah, no, take it. So like we got front row. Like we showed up last time.
That's awesome.
Front row. I was like, yes. So who shout out to you if you ever see this?
Yes. Huge shout out.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
he slept through the parade. He slept through the fireworks. He slept through everything. Like pretty much
the fireworks?
Everything. The fireworks. He even slept through the fireworks.
Wow. That would have woke me up like.
And here's the thing too, because we started watching them, and then like again started downpouring. So we just started kind of walking and moving to see if we can go catch some like just more trick or treating before it gets even worse. And so we were walking through Tomorrowland, and it echoes through there, like it's like boom, boom, slept like no one's business.
And then there's me, who went to California, went to bed early the night before, so I could enjoy the parks from open to close because I'm on Florida time. And was woken up violently by the Disneyland fireworks. I literally thought the hotel was under attack.
That's
I was just like, what the
That's awesome. Well, it's kind of fun though because like he sleeps. It's like Vietnam going on in Magic Kingdom, and he's sleeping through it. But here we are at home, and he's sleeping in his room. But if, God forbid, if I close the refrigerator door too hard, he's up for it. So it's like
there ain't nothing like Disney tired, I guess.
I mean, I guess you should say appreciate it because that was probably the most expensive nap that I'll ever pay for. So. I mean, technically he was free, so I couldn't even really complain about that. But
we can pretend it was an expensive nap. It was your expensive nap.
My expensive nap, yeah.
Oh man, but I mean, I'm going 2 weeks from now, so I will have a report, of course, for you guys when I go.
Yes.
I'm hoping it's not a rain out. I'll be
Hopefully
very
Hopefully
disappointed. Not. But you, besides the Halloween party, you guys stayed over, right? You did a little staycation?
Yeah, yes. We stayed at French Quarter.
French Quarter.
It's been a long time since I've stayed there, and I forgot how much I love that resort. It's very quiet, relaxing.
Yeah.
Super close to everything. It doesn't matter where you stay in French Quarter. You literally get like the preferred stay. It doesn't matter where you are, really, honestly. So like, it was such nice. And at nights we'd come back. Our son would just run around like some of the grass areas, which was like super, super cool. Everyone's always nice there, and most importantly, the beignets.
I was gonna say, did you get the ghoulish beignets that we talked
about? I sure
about?
did. And I will say, so me. Everyone already knows Josh about his reviews. He's super honest. I'm the same way. I don't like to hype up food for no reason, just because it's a certain brand or anything like that. But the beignets, I can't speak highly enough about. Those things are just like the ghoulish ones too, man. Those were like, I thought they were just going to be like mass produced and like over like sugary. Not at all. They were
nice and fresh
to order, like they do with their normal beignets. Always came out perfect. I got them twice, I think, and then normal beignet. I think I got them like every day almost.
Hey, April, who's from Louisiana, said that they were top notch.
I was going to say that. Yeah. So I've never been to Louisiana myself, so I can only imagine what the beignets taste there. If she says that those are good at French Quarter, and they're like by far I have to say, I think they're probably my favorite dessert now in Disney property. I think they're very underplayed and very forgotten about. Like everyone knows about them and they love them too, but like I just feel like they're just not like on everyone's list.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It's like I don't know how they can make those so good and then whatever crappy
they given you
decision they made at Magic Kingdom.
You got it. Mass produced is the issue. So if you take away anything from my story, it's okay if you go there and get them, but just don't go there rushing everyone there at one time, because then they got to mass produce them.
It's worth the wait to have something fresh.
It is,
especially at Disney when everything, like he said, everything's mass produced.
Yeah.
So to be able to have something fresh on property, it's worth it.
And they're open for breakfast, and so like it's usually, so I noticed the line for breakfast is the best time to get them.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, the line can get pretty long.
Yeah, because everyone's coming over from Springs and all that.
But it's not bad. Like even when it is there was one time I waited in the afternoon and it was pretty long. But even still, it wasn't terrible. Like they have a good system down how they take your order and then they call your name when your order ready. Yeah, so like it's really not it's not a bad wait. So like if you go there specifically for them and you see the line's out the door and you're thinking about turning around, promise me, just wait. It's worth it.
Too bad.
It's worth even if it's a half hour. Trust me, it's well worth it. I wait an hour for him. I won't lie.
I would.
I didn't, but I will.
And you can get them boozy if that's your alley. You can get them boozy.
Yep, absolutely. You sure can. Yes.
But
which I didn't. Which that's gonna be my next on my list. I heard they're very, very delicious too. But
yeah, you can't beat boozy anything.
No.
I'm trying to think. Now, besides, you did the staycation at French Quarter.
Yep.
And then I guess you did food and wine after we did food and wine, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
And I will say, I was a little bit disappointed this year. To be
Oh no,
honest with you.
no.
I think your reviews were pretty spot on. There's one of them, like I remember I sent you the picture of one thing that I tested, and you're like, you didn't take my advice.
I warned you that
Yeah, the Wagyu.
the Wagyu tamaki, it tastes like. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to put the bleeps on. But it tastes like shit.
Yeah,
Like
it was not good. It
It was-
had problems. Like it had promise to it, but like
it was not worth $9.50 or $9.75, whatever it was.
$9.75, I think it is. Yeah, it's just like
It was the flavors that they tried. I get what they were going for, but it didn't work, and it's a big mess. Everything falls out the back.
The three favorite things I had, and two of them were actually from the Morocco Pavilion. The pistachio.
Did yours actually taste like a pistachio? Because when I did it with Katie, it had no pistachio flavor.
I was gonna say, so that's what it lacked a little bit, was the pistachio flavoring. But if I'm putting that aside, I know it's called pistachio. It was still overall pretty good.
Yeah,
so like
I think we gave it
in the fives, I believe. But like
I think
if it had so it was like a five something, which I would honestly, I think that's pretty accurate because you're advertising this pistachio and it has nothing. It doesn't taste anything like
the
pistachio.
cake itself was moist. It was good.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was consistent. Like from what you guys had mentioned, like you and Katie had mentioned, like the cake was moist, and you said your score would definitely have changed if it actually had like the pistachio. And I can't agree more with that.
It probably, if it had pistachio flavor, it probably would have been one of my festival favorites.
No, absolutely, and for the price point too, it wasn't bad. So I think it was like what, $4 something, $5?
Yeah, it was. I think it was $5.25 or $4.25. I have in the book.
One of the favorite things I did get that day was I don't even know the name of it. I'm just gonna say it's the bread in Morocco.
Oh, the stone baked bread.
Yes.
Yeah, or the
good. And for
it's
the
right
price
here.
point, unreal.
Stone baked Moroccan bread. We did it. I gave it a 4.8 out of 10, and she gave it a 5 out of 10.
So for me, I don't know if could have been a different day, but I loved it, honestly. I think
not the bread. The pistachio cake, I gave it 4.8.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the bread. Okay, so you gave and she gave it a 5.
Yep.
Right.
For the bread,
which I think it's.
I mean, for the pistachio cake.
For the pistachio cake, okay, yeah. Which I think it's fair because you're advertising as pistachio and it doesn't have any taste, which I think it's definitely fair. But like, if I'm just like looking at it as like a cake,
it was good. It was a solid cake.
Solid for mass produced and for the quantity they have to dish out. It was
the one they have at Flower and Garden, top notch. The orange blossom citrus cake.
Yes, I want to try it. I can't wait for Flower.
That was
Garden
good.
Coming up. But the bread, though, I'm telling you, it was really for the price point and what you get.
I like the sauces that came with the bread, but I also had the fried falafel pita, and that was pretty good. It was solid. It wasn't awful. It wasn't amazing, but it was a solid choice. It was filling.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think I gave it. I didn't do a full review. I just did it on my story. I think it was like 7.3 out of 10. I think I did.
Okay. All right. Which is not terrible though.
Mm-mm.
And then what else did we get? We got the. I don't even know the name of things. I'll just describe it as.
You just tell me that. You just tell me the country. The cheese bread. The cheese bread.
It's so good. However, the line was a little bit long. I won't lie about that.
The pas de queijero.
Yes.
Whatever, however you say it.
Well, the price point and what you get was not bad.
Yeah.
It was, but it was very busy when we went. It was like, I think it was like 1 in the afternoon when we went, and it was like half hour to get.
Yeah, it's funny because I was there day 1 and you joined me in the evening, but the lines were like non-existent on day 1 and 2.
Yeah, nope.
And then I went back on Monday with Katie, and the lines were getting there.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, a little disappointed with some things that I got, for the most part. But again, could just been an off day. Who knows? But
no, because this year I was so hyped on so many things. Like I had a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
it was all just disappointing.
Yep.
And to see bigger creators go out there and say, "Oh, this is a 10 out of 10," or "This is amazing." No one cares that you want to be on a PR list.
Yep, I agree.
Like, people look to you for opinions and to plan their vacations. around
Yeah.
what you say. So if you're telling someone that something is a 10 out of 10
That-
when it is clearly shit,
Sure. Yep.
you're steering
I
them in the
agree.
wrong direction, which is why I do the reviews that I do.
Yep. I agree.
Like the
Yep.
people saying the bison is the best of the festival or the pumpkin ravioli, it's not.
Yep.
My bison, was it tender? Yes. Was it overly salty? Yes. It can be cooked perfectly,
Yep.
but also tastes awful.
I will say, I think for me, if I had to choose like best for what I had, because I didn't have near as much as you did, but
I know I spent so.
I have to put the bread just because of the price point and what you got for it, and I'm not gonna lie, those peanut butter and jelly wings that we had.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with an
Don't you know how
Asian
to
twist.
explain it?
I don't
Yep.
know how to explain it.
Yep. This is gonna sound wild too. I don't know if you've ever done this before too, because it's on the same kind of topic of peanut butter. But as I don't know if everyone knows that Josh and I are from Massachusetts, the Boston area, there was this restaurant in Cambridge that my brother and I used to go to. I forget the name of it, but they used to serve a peanut butter burger,
You know who has
and everyone's always like, "That sounds nasty." No,
no
it's
because
definitely not.
it's the same. It's the same thing with the pickle dog at Blue Ribbon.
Yes,
That peanut butter works. I don't know how to explain it,
I don't
but
exactly.
it's the sweet and
it's unreal.
savory combination. It's the same thing with caramel and cheddar popcorn mixed together. It just works.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't. I don't get it.
I get it. I know.
I mean, the wings just had like that Asian zing on the back end that just tied it all together. I think it was the peanut butter, the crunchy parts on top.
Oh yes. Yes.
It was just perfect. And I think my favorite my favorite food item from the festival was the giant zebra dome. I mean, like everyone's calling it the zebra dome, but I like the little ones better.
Gotcha.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I haven't tried it yet, I should say. So I'll have to probably put that on my list.
I mean,
So you said that was your favorite?
it was one of my favorites. The flavor was
Gotcha,
really
okay.
good. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not good.
Sure.
It's good. I just like I don't know. I like the little ones better. I think they have more of that coffee liquor
Gotcha.
or the actual zebra dome taste more so than the giant one. I think you lose it a little bit of that flavor with the giant being giant.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
But I mean, out of everything you tried, we said the peanut butter was your favorite. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or did you have
I'd
something
to
that topped that?
For food wise or dessert?
Either or.
Yeah, I'd say a tie between the bread and the peanut butter and jelly wings. For me, anyways. If I had to choose just one, probably the wings.
Yeah, I think there's some pretty decent options this festival. I think Flower and Garden was a lot better,
Gotcha, okay.
which is funny to say since it's not food focused. But food, I think the food was better at Flower and Garden. I think
Josh, come on, it's always food focused. Let's be real.
I think that Food and Wine is just very average this year. Nothing spectacular.
And I'm not that I'm saying like it's bad or anything like that, but like I thought it was gonna be like much better just because of how late it started. Well, I wouldn't say late. They went back to their original what it used to be because the last few years it's been like
it's been early.
Long,
yeah, it's like
so
we didn't have. It was like Epcot never had a break. It was always festival.
Exactly. So I thought with them going back to like the original way of like the shortness and like I thought they were going to come out with a bang, you know. So like,
I mean, especially with over 80 new items this year, I was a little disappointed. But it is what it is. But I think that's enough Disney for this episode because we have a huge rumor right now out of Universal. Walt Disney World News Today broke it. And it's Universal is actively developing a replacement for Marvel Superhero Island.
Yes.
Any thoughts on that?
Not surprised. I had a feeling eventually it was going to have to happen. I would assume just because of the whole Disney and owning the Marvel rights and probably they're going to want theme park rights eventually for Orlando. But
I think that Universal's in a pretty good position to leverage Disney.
I agree.
For like I know that they both kind of have a chokehold over each other.
Yep.
but I honestly think that Universal kind of has the upper hand because
I
Universal
agree.
has the last say,
You
whether
got it.
it's negotiating access to another IP.
Yep.
Because I know that at one point I read an article that they were sourcing people's opinions on a Bob's Burgers land or something like
Yes.
that.
Yep.
So I wonder if they could leverage getting rights to that or other things that Disney owns that Disney doesn't want to touch. But I mean, I think I kind of knew that it was going to come eventually when they closed the ride at in Japan. This Amazing
Yes. Yep.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No, I agree. So what do you if they do shut it down to retheme? What do you feel should take its place?
okay, well, since it's Islands of Adventure, I'm thinking something along the lines. Um, I've heard rumors that Pokemon was going to go to studios,
Gotcha. Okay.
but I guess if they wanted to, they could put Pokemon there. I would love for them. I think I'm not sure who has the theme park rights to Lord of the Rings, but I think a Lord of the Rings land would be
Ah.
phenomenal. Now, whether they save that for um, Epic Universe expansion or something,
Yeah.
but
Oh wow. I like that.
I would love to see a Lord of the Rings land. I mean, I know that it's a little past like the franchise, but with the new show, I mean,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
got
For
renewed.
sure. Yeah.
I could see
That's an
that.
awesome idea. Actually, that's so cool. Actually, I
I
would
mean,
definitely be game for that.
I'm devastated. I mean, I would be devastated if they're closing or that they're rumored to close Superhero Island because
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man is one of my top rides.
Yes, I agree.
Uh,
Yep.
one of my favorites from a kid growing. Like that's really what hooked me on Universal. But at the same time, I understand.
No,
You know,
absolutely. It's
I get
if you walk around there, it's definitely aged.
yeah.
Like too. It's
Um, and I mean, I get the comics. You get the comics,
yeah,
but a lot of the younger generation
yeah,
doesn't really understand. Unless you're a
yeah.
super fan, you don't understand the theming and all that.
No, I agree. My idea I was going to say was, I mean, this is probably I wouldn't say like the best idea in the world, but actually creating an immersive DC world.
Yeah, see, so I read that, but but I believe that Six Flags has theme park rights, so they'd have to buy
They
out Six Flags.
I was going to say that I believe because of they have uh, Superman's well, it's Bizarro in
Yeah,
Massachusetts,
but
but
then they have Batman too.
yeah, they have Batman, and then they have a Joker roller coaster too, if I'm not mistaken. They have a few different rides with Six Flags for DC themed. But I thought it'd be honestly be cool to do it justice, because
Yeah, well,
this is gonna
especially
be a hot take, but at least do something justice for DC because their movies aren't.
well, I know, but I mean you're not wrong, but I could see that because you have the new what they're calling the DCU
Yep,
with I think it's Gun taking over there.
yep,
So
yep,
technically, Six Flags has the rights to um,
yes.
the comic book DC, and just like Disney has the rights to the MCU, and Universal has the rights to the comic book um,
Or bring
Marvel.
in
So
the Rock, the Black Adam.
yeah, a lot of
The
the I
Rock
mean
could sell it. You could sell
that
it.
would I feel like that would be like the easy way out for Universal,
It would be. Yep.
because all they got to do is change the paint on Hulk,
You
throw
got
any
it.
random character on Doctor Doom.
Yep.
They would just have to come up with a new e-ticket type ride to replace Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, another rumor I heard was that Universal could potentially move the Transformers ride over
Mm,
and make it a Transformers land.
that would be pretty cool. Did you feel that Transformers still has the same hype that it once did?
Not from the. I mean, I don't think it's had the same hype since after the first three movies.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Bumblebee was. I loved Bumblebee.
No, I thought Bumblebee was really
Uh,
good, but
but
then you had random Mark Wahlberg come
yeah,
into it, and then which
I
wasn't
mean,
bad, but
no, but it's also not like it doesn't have that same feel to me as the first
yeah,
three movies did.
I agree. Yeah, I
It's
completely
just.
agree.
But again, it is like such a um, classic IP.
No, it
If like
definitely is. I
going
agree.
back, I mean, I remember watching the cartoon growing up. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but again, I feel like they're really going to try and hit something with the new generation.
I agree. Yeah.
Which
But trying to think, what else would might be do well for Universal? I mean, Let's kind of throw it out there. What about like Fantastic Beast?
I could see that, but I mean, I could see more of that replacing Lost Continent because it's so
Yeah,
close to Hogsmeade.
I was gonna say something similar too, because like
Uh,
I feel like that'd just be kind of random.
I mean, I know at one point Zelda was rumored to take over Lost Continent,
Oh, okay.
but maybe Universal changed their mind and would put it over there. But again, it's not a big. I mean, in my opinion, it's not. I'm thinking of like the younger generation because I know that Universal is
Sure.
trying to
Make it
cater
more
more to
family
the
friendly.
family unit
Yep.
more so than adults like me and you.
Yep.
I know that like with the new park, there's a lot more for families to do with their kids than there is in the two OG parks that
Do
we
you
have.
think? Do you think Universal's kind of shooting themselves in the foot right now because they jumped too soon on the Minions land?
Honestly, no,
Not that
because
they didn't do a good job with it, because I think they really did. But I think with how
I
massive Marvel is,
I think that I get that they didn't want to move the ride because it's the same
yeah,
ride system that's been used since
sure,
since the original ride, Jimmy
yeah,
Neutron, and the one
yep,
before
yep.
that. So it's the same system. So I get they didn't want to move it, but personally, I would have probably put Shrek and DreamWorks in Islands because
Ah,
it's
okay,
more because
yeah,
I don't know.
yep,
I would put Minions Land as the new kids area if I was in charge instead.
gotcha. Okay, all right, yeah.
Um, but I do think that there's going to be a big change coming to Universal
Oh,
once Epic opens
I,
up.
I would say once Epic opens up to kind of get that hype going, and everyone coming back, I don't think people will care and how
I
old
think that they're
care,
going to
honestly.
use the money that they're yeah.
Yeah,
I think that they're going to use the money they rake in from Epic as a cash cow to
Ex-
revamp the other two parks.
exactly.
I think that
Yep.
Studios, honestly, I think Studios is going to get the love first because
Yeah, I need to.
it's needed.
Yeah,
I mean, I for one would love for them to open up an expansion at Epic like right away of
yes.
like a
Yep.
classic like nostalgic land. I don't know what you'd call it, but like build the Jaws ride back, put the earthquake,
Yes.
like that would be cool. But I do think that
Imagine if they did like an all year round HHN
I see. I was thinking
thing.
that I think that they should do that at night at Dark Universe. They should make it
Yes,
more scary,
that would be so cool.
right? I mean, I personally think that it's not a bad idea for Universal to redevelop Superhero Island
No, I don't. I don't either. I think it's probably much needed, honestly, just because
because
they can't really revamp what they're doing because
Mhm.
Disney has them in a tight hold. But then also
Right.
Universal has Disney, and so they're kind of like at a standstill at the moment.
I mean, it would be huge for Disney to be able to build. So I think there'd be some huge exchange, whether it's money from Disney to Universal or IP from
Absolutely.
Disney to Universal.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that they might take a lot of the Fox IPs that Disney can't really put in their park.
Yes. Yep. Well, that kind of brings the next question would be Simpsons because technically Disney owns
Yeah, so
Fox.
the rumor I heard about the Simpsons land with that contract ending it hasn't been renewed yet. I believe it ends in 27.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the
So it's still a
rumor
little bit of
I
time.
heard was Pokemon was going to go there,
Okay.
which I can see because I know that the current rumors are Men in Black will be gone.
Yeah.
Simpsons will be eventually leaving.
Yep.
Whether they revamp that entire land to be completely different instead of
I, wa-
reusing the
I
ride building
wonder.
again.
I wonder if Simpsons predicted that in their show too.
Someone's got to go. Someone's got to go back and watch it. But-
Somewhere in their show shows what Universal is going to be doing in New Orleans.
Because if you look at Superhero Island, you have quite a bit of space behind it. Because a lot of people forget that the queue for Spider-Man on the outside is huge.
Yes.
And not only that, but they also have the theater that's in between Superhero Island and
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, the comic book
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, they do have a large footprint they could work with to make an immersive land. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they shut down that entire park from part of the park from Superhero Island all the way to Dudley Do Rights or King Kong
Yes.
and
Yep.
completely
Yep.
revamp that whole area. It wouldn't surprise me.
No, not at all. Not at all. They're
But I
they're
mean,
like Disney. We'll give you all the rights for the Marvel theme parks, but you have to pay for it. Pay for upgrades, and you get to pay for half Epic.
I mean, of course, Disney could be like, "No, if you deal with it yourself." But
Yeah.
I don't think that Disney would do that because I know that they want to build a Avengers
agree.
campus in
You
Walt Disney
got it.
World.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because I mean, honestly, it could be the catalyst to a brand new fifth gate
Oh yeah,
at
absolutely.
Disney.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually.
I mean, if you think about it, that would be huge for Disney. I mean,
Sure
that
would.
if they built a fifth gate with a lot of centered around Marvel, that would compete with Epic Universe.
Yes, absolutely.
But I guess
I
all
think
we
we
can
built a
do.
fifth gate. Man, you need like 2 weeks to get through Disney. It's like you need 2 weeks now to get through Disney.
I mean,
honestly,
it takes a whole day to do the 4 parks in one day.
Yep.
I mean, so it would be. I mean, that would be a challenge I would do. 5 parks one day. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess all we can do is wait and see. Until I'm sure they won't announce anything until Epic is open. And it could just be a completely unsubstantiated rumor because a lot of news sources like Walt Disney World News Today tend to do that.
Yeah.
But it was worth. I mean, I thought it was worth to bring up.
No, absolutely.
Because you never know, and we're all about covering all theme parks. And with that being said, we have a very special episode that'll come out after this one on. Is it October 4th?
I think it would be October. Nah, would it be October 4th?
Because this comes out.
No, the 11th, October 11th.
Okay. So that'll come out on October 11th. We're going to be covering HHN at Universal with a very special guest who absolutely loves all that type of stuff. We can't wait for you to meet her. But you can find me on all social media platforms at Josh in the Parks. And you can find Jerry.
You can find me at It's a Buzz Life.
On everything?
Yes. TikTok and Instagram.
And you can find the podcasts on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram at InTheParks_pod. We're also on Facebook. Just search In the Parks and Beyond. But put your hands up because those lap bars are coming up. And thank you for joining us.